Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa, a place where 3 nations meet and where ancient stories run as deep as its waters. For over 1,000 years, the Luo people have cast their nets into these waters, knowing that beneath the surface dwell forces far older than memory. But in 1907, a story emerged from these waters that had never been told before. The tale of the Dingonek, a creature that would capture the imagination of the Western world while remaining completely unknown to those who had lived beside the lake for centuries. The man who brought the Dingonek into existence was John Alfred Jordan, a British big-game hunter and notorious ivory poacher who claimed to encounter this creature near the Migori River in 1907. His terrified men reported seeing a frightful, strange beast on the riverbank that plunged into the water when they approached. Jordan described the Dingonek as a long-fanged aquatic animal covered in plate-like scales, similar to those of a reptile. Some accounts painted it as having the body of a lion, the head of a crocodile, and venomous spines running down its back, while others described it as a cross between a scaled dragon and a tiger that roared like a lion. But here's what makes this story truly fascinating. Jordan maintained he had seen the creature until his death in 1933, and his tale was recorded by Edgar Beecher Bronson, spreading through colonial hunting circles and eventually into cryptozoology textbooks. Yet for the Luo people, those who had fished these waters for generations, the Dingonek was not part of their oral tradition at all. The waters of Lake Victoria do hold spirits in Luo tradition, but they are nothing like Jordan's scaled monster. Among the Luo, these spirits are called Nyawawa, literally meaning spirit of the dead in the Doluo dialect. Nyawawa are believed to be the spirits of those who died in the lake, rising from the water seasonally to roam the land. When people hear them talking in the night, they bang metal objects to ward them off, a practice that has protected lakeside communities for countless generations. These are not physical monsters to be hunted or photographed. In traditional African religion, spirits are recognized as using material objects as temporary abodes, manifesting through natural phenomena. They represent the unbroken connection between the living and the dead, the seen and unseen worlds. The contrast reveals something profound about perspective and power. Where Luo tradition speaks of spiritual relationships requiring respect and ritual, the colonial narrative created a physical monster, something that could be shot, captured, or conquered. Jordan wasn't just any hunter. He was an ivory poacher, part of the systematic exploitation that devastated both elephant populations and local communities. His Dingonek emerged from a mindset that saw Africa as a source of exotic dangers and treasures to be claimed. Meanwhile, traditional Luo spiritual practices continue, with prayers offered at sunrise and sunset, connecting communities to ancestral wisdom. Their rich spiritual heritage incorporates ancestor veneration and deep connection to nature, with spirituality playing a significant role in daily life. There's another Lake Victoria monster worth mentioning, the Lukwata, reported since the turn of the 20th century, though cryptozoologists argue the name has been applied to different animals, known and unknown. Like the Dingonek, it too emerged during the colonial period, when Western explorers were reinterpreting African landscapes through their own cultural lens. But the real mystery isn't whether the Dingonek exists. It's why a creature unknown to local tradition became Africa's most famous lake monster, while the actual spiritual beliefs of Lake Victoria's people remain largely unheard outside their communities. Today, as modernity transforms the shores of Lake Victoria, some view Nyawawa as myth, while others confirm their continued presence. But these spirits, whether literal or metaphorical, represent something the Dingonek never could, an authentic relationship between people and place, built over centuries of coexistence. The next time you hear about Lake Victoria's monsters, remember, the most powerful creatures in these waters aren't the ones that growl from colonial hunting stories. They're the ones that whisper from the deep memory of Africa itself, in voices that have never needed Western validation to be real. In the end, the Dingonek tells us more about the colonizers who created it than the lake they tried to claim. But Nyawawa, the true spirits of Lake Victoria, remain in the waters where they've always been, waiting for those who know how to listen.